All right, guys, so here it is. We are still missing a few parts, and we're gonna kind of just start working with what we have. We want to take our time on it. We want to make sure we do everything right. When the last part comes in, we don't want to have to rush, and because obviously we're going to be excited to ride and kind of miss something or whatever the case is. So instead of pushing off the work to the very end, we're going to start doing what we can here, and we'll pretty much just kind of guide you through the process. We'll get some close-ups and then work from there. So we're taking this off, but I'm gonna have to get in here in the way and hold this. There we go. All right, so before we pull this off, let's pull this off.
Yeah.
Okay. Start with these modules here. We'll start pulling those off, and then we'll get those out of the way. Here we go. Oh, really loose. That's interesting. Well, once you loosen the top, the bottom one automatically gets loose. So we just removed the turn signals. The turn signals did run into the back of the headlight. Right now, the cable for the headlight actually runs up this way. It's kind of hard to see, but it runs right underneath the tank itself. So we're gonna figure out if we can lift the front part of the tank, or if we have to remove it completely. We'll go and check it out. So right here in the front, it's kind of hard to see. Let me get you some light. There is, see that hole screw hole right there? There's basically a rubber mount that comes off of the frame, and there's a clamp here on the bottom right there that actually just swings up and clamps around that rubber mount for the front. Now for the rear, not 100% sure yet where it mounts. All right, so we're able to push the tank back. So these right here are what the front clamps attach to. Now in the rear, it has the same thing, except it's like a C channel. And when you slide the tank forward, it locks onto those pieces. We did have to unplug this little GPS connector because the GPS antenna sits right here. Now we're going to see, there's two places it could be. One is right here, and then the other connectors are right on top over here in the middle. So hopefully we don't have to pull the tank completely off. Of course, it's gonna probably be in the more difficult situation. All right, so we're to the point where we disconnected the electrical connector, the breather hose, and now the fuel line. Okay, good?
Good.
Lift, you're good, you're good, you're good. All right, woo! There we go. Alright, so we're going to get out here. Alright, so we got the fuel tank off. Now, underneath this sack thing right here is the connectors that we need. The two that we're going to need are for the headlight, to move that out of the way for now, and for the extension. We need to rerun the extension for the
10-inch motor risers.
Yeah, there you go. So if you look right here, this was the connector that went to the fuel pump, breather hose, and then the actual tank pump went straight to there. So these are the rear mounts that we're telling you about, how it just sees over them, and then there is a clamp that comes around these, locks those in place. So we took the top nut off. We had to, in these little sections here, wedge these open so they slide out. There is a captive nut here that we're going to use a spanner on. That's the last thing holding in, so we can put that down real quick, and then I'll hold this. So you will require a spanner. What size spanner is this?
It's going to be 55 to 62.
55 to 62.
And the top nut was a 30 millimeter nut.
30 millimeter nut.
Which is important because it doesn't say it on the manual.
Doesn't say it in service information. We talked to the guys at Indian and they weren't sure. They were saying it was some SAE size nut. No, you're right. Yeah. It just has like maybe some Loctite. Keep going.
Okay. We're going to keep going on it.
So it kind of locked up on us a little bit. But
well, it could be because of the collision.
No, I think it has Loctite on it. Right, there's the bearing. Nice, there's sealed bearings, which is good.
We have a whole new one waiting
so it probably is a little binded because it looks a little tweaked even from here.
Yeah.
So we're replacing that part anyways.
Do you feel anything?
Mm-mm. Yeah, it's coming down. It's coming down.
All right.
Keep going.
I have a feeling.
Yeah, it's releasing. Keep going.
I had a rubber mallet, but I do not.
It's going. I see progress.
You know what it's doing? It's rubbing against the bearing. Might have to replace this. Hopefully not.
It's tweaked is really what it is.
I think the bottom is it probably has two sets of bearings. And
It does. It's bound up though. I can see the bearings now. So what happened is when it hit, it bound up the steering. Making good progress. There we go. So right now it's completely under tension. There it goes. Woo! Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right. What do we have connected to it?
It's got a screw down here.
Oh,
We didn't see it.
it's a 10 mil. I got the 10 mil right here. On the floor.
Almost there. Don't worry. Gotcha.
All right. There we go. Success.
Oh, dang, that was bent, huh?
So look at that. I don't know if you can see that. It's
Compared
bent
to-
up. So this is how it was bound up right there. And this was what giving us a hard time to remove it. Straight, tweaked. So it definitely needed to be replaced.
It's a lot easier.
So we got the new wiring for the handlebars ran. That's this wiring right here. Like I said, it came with a, they already have them prefabbed for the 10-inch risers. It was 3 plugs under here. He released this pin like this on the other side, rewrapped it, held everything in place, popped that back in just right now. We got the new pieces on here, the new triple trees. Like I said, we're still waiting for the left side fork. We got the old pieces off. They were bound up like we showed earlier. You can kind of see this thing has a little bend for it. That's why we struggle taking it out. Yeah, you can see how bent up those are. So both of them are brand new. We're not going to torque this top cap. We got the spanner one tightened up. This one we're going to wait till we have the fork tubes in before we torque this down. We ran the new wiring. We are going to probably do the clutch cable next. What's nice about this one, like I said, on my Harley, either on Harley they're hydraulic or cable, but when they're cable they come into this cover right here, the derby cover, and with this one it's actually all external, which is kind of hard to see. There it is right there. So should be a lot easier since we don't have to take that apart. Then we're gonna go and start putting the risers on, and then start kind of channeling all the wiring back up.
Should give a slack, right?
So there is a jam nut on the right of where he's loosening right now. Once it's released, he's going to screw that clockwise to shorten the length of the outer cable so we have slack on the inner cable.
It's getting tighter, no?
So we're releasing all the clamping mechanisms that are around there.
I think it's only this one, so.
We're able to release the grip. So once you create enough slack, you could pull the housing out this way and around, and then the little insert comes out. And we simply accomplish that by here backing out this nut right here all the way this way, loosening the jam nut first, backing this all the way out, which gave us more slack. And now we should be able to do the same with the bottom, which I can't see it from here. I'll have to get in under there.
I'll get into it.
Clutch cable has been replaced. We got it all adjusted, locked up. It's sitting right there for now. I'm not sure if we are going to do the risers next. That way we could have a handlebar. That way we could start replacing the brake line with it up and mounted, and we could even possibly get it bled. So we're gonna decide on that shortly. So the brake line on this one, it's an ABS bike, so the brake line runs from the grip over to this junction right here, and then that's all we got to replace. From here it runs down to the ABS module. There we go. From here it runs down into the ABS module, from the ABS module back, and then it goes over to the caliper. But we don't have to touch any of that. We just literally the one behind over here to here, and that's it. So, and then we'll bleed it. And then with any type of brake like this, even when it comes to mountain bikes, once you get it all mounted, to make sure you don't have any air in there, kind of strap this lever over to the handle, the grip, just kind of squeeze it and leave it overnight, and any air that might have been in the line will start working its way out.
Cool, man.
New risers are going in. Kit came with new bushings. We're putting those in. The gauge actually is going to sit in the middle versus on the top, and that should look pretty awesome. It has a new assembly that's going to actually push it out. Here. Like so. And it has a new top cap. On the old one, the risers were way shorter. They're about right here. And the top cap was part of the boot assembly. So
I don't know.
these are the original risers right here. So huge difference. And then which was the fairing you had?
I had a crater fairing that we modified for it.
Crater, yeah, it was like for a Dyna. We did a modification. Unfortunately, we didn't film that. It was a great video. It would have been a great video. So we're gonna just tighten these up just a tad. Start kind of fitting everything into place. Right, so we have the bars, risers, and the gauge pod all mocked up. Now we'll be able to start mounting the bar and well, the bar is the brake lever. Get that bled replaced. We have the Memphis shade here. That is replacing a Crater one that we modified. The Crater one looked good, but the glass wasn't the same quality as on the Memphis shade. This looks great. Almost there. Alright guys, so thank you for watching part 1. We have lots coming your way. One of them being the saddlebag install. It's going to be a custom install. We have the rest of the bike to put together. We kind of just ran out of time. It was we got a lot done. We're still pending some parts. So as soon as those parts come in, we'll get started on the next part. So look forward to at least to 2 or 3 more parts to this video segment. So I appreciate you guys. Please like, subscribe, and follow for more videos. Have a great one, guys.